Hello, hello. Welcome in, everyone. It is Thursday, September the 4th, 2025. Welcome to the Spiritual View. We are so delighted that you are joining us, and we have our usual crew. So we have Dawn, we have Ruby, we have Ron, and backstage tonight, who's not on camera, Wendy, the beautiful Wendy, as always, is with us, but she's managing the chat and helping us be organized this evening. So we welcome everyone in. If you're new to the channel, we do this once a week, and we also do daily videos, and we are excited to have you. And if you're a returning champ, welcome back. So we've got some announcements this evening, and we've got some really interesting energy to talk about. We've been talking before we got on camera, and just how crazy the energies have been this week and the impact on people. And so we'll talk a little bit about the energy, and we'll do some card pulls as well. All right. So I'm going to make a few announcements, and we'll post all this, and so you have it. This Saturday, we are going to be doing a lunar eclipse ritual, and that is Saturday, the 6th of September at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So please join us, and we've already posted the link, and it's on our page, so you can just click on that on Saturday. On Monday, the 8th, Dawn is doing her Astrology as You Go class at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and that again is posted, and you can join Dawn to learn more about astrology. Now, if you didn't get a chance to look at Monday's video, it was actually on Labor Day. Ron and I did runes with Ron. So we pulled some runes and talked about the history and symbology of runes and the history of them. And Ron would love to offer 3 spiritual enlightenment coaching sessions. And we're going to post his information, his email in the chat so that you have it. And if you are interested, the first 3 viewers who get to Ron, he is offering this as a gift to the channel and to our viewers. And he is a spiritual master. So I think anyone that wants to do a session with him would gain some valuable insights and information. So Ron, thank you for being willing to do that. And we're always blessed to have you and Ruby as part of the channel. All right. There's a lot of interesting energy. On September the 7th, Sunday, is the lunar eclipse at 15 degrees of Pisces, followed by the equinox on Monday, September the 8th. So we're going to be talking a little bit about that tonight, but also what it means over the weekend into next week. So we'll be having this conversation and talking about how that impacts us as a collective, but also individually. What does that mean for us and how we manage our energy moving forward? All right. So it's Thursday evening, our time. I'm not sure where you are around the world, but we're going to just do a quick energy clearing. And then we're going to head over to Dawn, who's going to give us some great information. And we will have some fun with all of you this evening. And we're hearing Jack bark. So Jack's barking. Luna's behind me, and we don't know if she's going to bark. So we're just going to calm it down. So I'd love everyone just to close your eyes and just to relax into your body. And we're just going to let it all go. And let's just sit comfortably, either in a chair, on the floor, lie down, and close your eyes. And we're going to ask tonight, let's all put our hands over our hearts. And let's inhale slowly through the nose for a count of 4. And then let's exhale slowly to the count of 4. Inhale again, counting to 4. Exhaling, counting to 4. One more time, inhaling, count to 4. Big exhale, count to 4. We're just releasing any energies that don't belong to us, just shaking it off, relaxing into our bodies. And as you continue to breathe deeply, we're going to visualize a stream of golden white light pouring down from above our heads, flowing all the way through the body. And as this beautiful golden white light moves downward, imagine it just sweeps away any fears, worries, any agitation or annoyance. We're just sweeping it all away from our chakras and away into the universe. See these energies dissolving into the earth beneath you, which leaves you lighter, calmer, relaxed. Now, as we continue to release these energies, picture roots extending from the soles of your feet, anchoring you deep into Mother Earth, anchoring you like a strong and firm tree. Feel the stability of Mother Gaia beneath you, supporting and holding you steady. Silently affirm, I am safe. I am grounded. I am supported. Let's next imagine this soft glowing white expanding outward from the center of our bodies, balancing our energy field. As this light expands from our center out to all parts of our body and our auric field around us, allow this beautiful light to harmonize your emotions, your thoughts, your body, restoring calm. And as we are in this energy of calm, you are surrounded by a cocoon of violet and golden light, protecting your energy from any disruptions. Say silently, I am centered. I am calm. I am at peace. I am serenity. My energy is clear and strong. Let's take one final deep breath in through the nose. Exhale out through the mouth. And let's open our eyes. And we're going to smile with gratitude. All right, with that, I'm turning it over to Dawn, who's going to take us through our conversation about energy.
Yeah, hello everyone. I am going to put a chart up briefly. I have it ready here to go. And this is the chart for the eclipse. And that eclipse will actually happen on the 7th, but we're doing the ceremony the day before because we still are in that full moon energy. And it's a good time to release the things that are no longer serving you. And the other thing I would say about this eclipse energy is we do have a 15-degree Pisces moon. It's right next to the North Node, so very strong energy. Now Saturn is in the same sign in Pisces, and that's important for us for the next 5 months. Saturn will be going retrograde and then will be coming out of Pisces on February 14th. And then we'll be joining Neptune at 0 degrees on February 20th. So this is the long-term energy that I wanted you to be aware of. The eclipse actually is really supported and a lot of change, but very well supported with what's going on. We do have 15 degrees of a sun, 15 degrees of a moon. We have Venus is going to be at 15 degrees. If I can find her quickly. Oh, Mercury's at 10. And okay, why is this? Yes, this is the right one. So, and then we also have Jupiter in this nice trine with, here is the Black Moon Lilith and Hecate. Hecate's at 15, Black Moon Lilith is at 18. So that is that grand water trine energy, which is more easy flowing energy. So, and you can see at 15 degrees of Leo, we do have Venus. So it's very connected energy. A lot of things are talking to each other. It is including the benefics and some of the other energy. And I think that's really important for us because things are going to, things have been kind of strange this week. We've been having Mercury square Uranus. So if you had some crazy energy, Spirit Dragon's saying hello from Alaska. So if you have any energy this week that was like very strong, or you felt really kind of wired, difficulty sleeping, things like that, that could very well have been that Mercury Uranus square that was going on. And I had said earlier in the week to be on the watch for downloads and things that may be coming in for you, new ideas, new concepts. I had a lot of downloads this week myself. So I think that's something that people should be aware of. Let me get rid of that. I think also we need to look at the fact that the collective is going to be going through big changes, and we need to be in that observer mode. The readings that I've been doing are like, yeah, towers are coming, more towers and more towers. But amazingly, it's always like it's supported with Archangel Michael keeps showing up. And the readings I've been doing, like all of a sudden, all this other stuff. And then Archangel Michael shows up with the world, and or the Fool, and it's like, okay, it's fine. Everything's going to be fine. Everything will be fine. And I think that's the energy I want to give you, because I do think that we're going through, there's going to be a lot of information and misinformation, and to stay as disconnected from that as possible. The more energy that you give by focusing on something like that, it takes it longer to dispel and get rid of that energy. So I would say it's carry water, chop wood time. This is for you to be focusing on your home, Virgo energy, on your personal health, your personal body, your personal family, your spiritual practice. That's what that axis is Pisces. That's spiritual, and that's where the moon will be. And the sun is going to be in Virgo right next to Jupiter. Jupiter's at 10 degrees. I'm not Jupiter, Mercury. Mercury is the ruler of Virgo, and also in its exaltation in Virgo. So nice, strong energy for the sun to have the rulership there. So I do feel that we are really supported. And it's just like, we have to stay out of panic mode. We have to be like, okay, things are going to look weird. There's no doubt about it. Things are going to look weird. They're going to look weird on a global scale. They'll look weird nationally. And we just need to like, okay, this just means things are changing. And again, it's the tower stuff. Tower for them may not be good. Tower for us is good, actually, because it gives people opportunities. And I think that's the thing that you should concentrate on. Carry water, chop wood in your own life. That's what Saturn is doing with this retrograde. Saturn is also going to be bringing up things from the Venus retrograde, because it's going over those degrees. And I wanted to bring that up specifically so you know that it's going to happen. You are going to have people come back from your past. You are going to be dealing with issues. Mercury also was going retrograde at that same time. The North Node and everything was there at that time. So there's a lot of very strong, already activated degrees. And to me, that means Saturn is going to revisit some issues that we had before while it was going through Pisces during that 2-year transit. This is our chance to get it right. This is our chance to finally get exactly what we wanted in place, and really make that energy of the Saturn making the dreams of Pisces come true, because I do think that's what's going to be happening. It's just, don't give in to that fear energy, and know that this is opening up opportunities for you that you can't even imagine, because a lot of the things that are going to be happening, AI is going to take away jobs. I have no doubt about that. But we are then going to be operating at a different level, and we may have more time to pursue our own interests. Yay. And that will help everybody on a grander scale. So that's the energy I want to give everyone, that really we're looking at, the next 6 months is going to be kind of on and off, just like that birthing pain we talked about with Gaia, where we have that energy kind of ebb and flow. But we are going to be having towards the end of September, some really, really strong energies. And that includes a Mars square to Pluto. So that will be more of a collective energy, I would say. I'm not really concerned for people on a personal level about that. I do feel that we will have more natural disasters. I feel that our job is to be there for other people, no matter what their political affiliation is. That's our job, is to be part of a community. And you don't checkbox what they are first before you help them. You just are kind. So those are the biggest takeaways that I get with this energy. And Saturn is involved. So if you don't do things properly and fairly, karma will come back and revisit you. So you will know that that you haven't done things in the proper way if Saturn comes back and it's just like, oh no, this is done. No, this isn't going to work. So that's the energy that I wanted to give everybody. I wanted you to be aware that there's going to be issues. I wanted you to know that there is so much angelic support. Every time I draw, it's just like, I might as well just lay Archangel Michael out on the table because he's showing up in a very strong way with other strong major arcana cards about new beginnings. So with that, I will go ahead and turn this over to Sari, so we can start our collective reading.
Hey, before we get there, I have a question. I didn't realize that one of the things about this coming back around with Mercury is people that were in our lives coming back around. That's happened to me twice this week. And what's your thought? Is it about the lesson? Like there's a reason people are in the past and it's like they're coming back around to see, have you gained the wisdom? Is that what it is?
I think you should consider things that are going to be coming up. Mercury will be going retrograde again. Mm-hmm. And for me, it's like, okay, this is your final exam at college because of that energy. And I do think that the Mercury retrograde we have coming up later in the year, you always have people contacting you. And the energy that Saturn is going to be bringing back in is all of that energy from, remember March, remember some of April. Some of the same topics are going to be brought back in.
Okay.
And it is a test. And it's like, okay, now have you learned how to deal with this? Or now you can make a different decision than what you made before. So it's a new opportunity for you. And honestly, I think if you take a different route, that I really feel like I'm very positive about what Saturn's going to do when it turns direct, which will be at the end of November, because when it does that, it's trining Jupiter. And Jupiter is in exaltation in Cancer. So at that point, so through the end of November, it's going to be going retrograde. So we're going to assume that we're going to be dealing with those things. But then it turns direct. And then I think we get some fun stuff personally for ourselves. The collective is still going to be a mess because we got a couple of years of this coming up. But for us, this is our part of, we've got something new coming in that is going to be amazing. I'm convinced of it.
Which is great. Great. Thank you for that context. Woo. So now I know what I need to discern. But my feeling is there's a reason they're in the past. All right. So again, we're going to talk about the collective energy, and each of us have just pulled a card. We don't know what each other has pulled yet. But if you do want an individual card pulled, just as a reminder, put a heart in the chat and we'll get to as many of you. We're seeing many of you put your hearts in the chat, and thank you for that, but keep them coming. So the question that we're asking for the collective, what new is coming in with this lunar eclipse and the equinox? So in some cases, it's the fall equinox in the northern hemisphere. If you're in the southern hemisphere, it is the spring equinox. So the card that I pulled, which is interesting, is from the Gaia deck, love this deck, and I pulled the Enchanted Forest. Now, this is a beautiful card of mystery, magic, and excitement. But I think the precursor, Dawn, what you've been saying is we're just closing out a lot of old energy. We're releasing a lot of old cycles. We're releasing a lot of ancestral karma and healing. And so you may have to go through some closing of cycles, relationships, energy to be able to be open to this mindset. It says, 1 minute life seems rather mundane and boring, then all of a sudden someone or something sweeps into your world like a breath of fresh air. It says, all of a sudden you feel as though you're on a magical mystery tour. It doesn't matter that you have no idea where this might lead you. Life can be full of excitement and endless creative possibilities. Embrace all that comes your way and just enjoy the journey. And don't be in a hurry to settle down or draw conclusions. Allow the universe to unfold in the way and time that the universe wishes. What unravels for you will bring you lasting joy and a deep sense of fulfillment. I really believe, Dawn, this is the energy you're talking about where we're going. But I would say we're still playing a little bit of 52 card pickup in our own lives, and that we are dotting the I's, crossing the T's, chop wood. So if you're in the muck of the dotting of the I's and the crossing of the T's and closing out a lot of stuff, it doesn't feel good. It's oftentimes filled with pain, but this is where we're headed. So this is the eye on the prize. So this is the prize of the enchanted force, full of mystery. Let it unfold. Let it bring some magic and excitement, because that's what's waiting on the other side. And so I think it's an opportunity for us to get through this last part of the clearing and to welcome, embrace in this new energy. All right. With that, I'm going to turn it over to Ron, and Ron is going, I believe, to pull a rune tonight for us around the collective question.
Yes, and I just dropped the rune on the floor. So the thing is, I could tell you the name of it. And one thing that is really delightful is the fact that, you know, what Dawn had to say about all the energy that's coming up, and of course, Shri. And what was the rune I pulled? Disruption. Okay, no problem, everybody. So disruption, and it also is identified as elemental power and hail, which is not something we like to talk about here in Colorado. So change, freedom, invention, and liberation are all attributes of this rune. Drawing it indicates a pressing need within the psychic to break free from constricting identification with material reality and to experience the world of mind. The rune of elemental disruption of events that seem to be totally beyond your control. This rune has only an upright position, and yet it always operates through reversal. When you draw this rune, expect disruption, for this is the great awakener. Although the form of the awakening may vary, perhaps you will experience a gradual feeling of coming to your senses, as though you are emerging from a deep sleep. Then again, the onset of the power may be such as to rip away the fabric of what you previously knew as your reality, your security, and your understanding of yourself, your work, your relationships, or your belief. Oh, take a deep breath. Disruption takes many forms. A relationship fails. Plans go awry. A source of supplies dry up, but do not be dismayed. Because whether you create this disruption or whether it comes from an outside source, you are not without power in this situation. Your inner strength, the will you have funded until now in your life, provides support and guidance at a time when everything you've taken for granted is being challenged. Another of the cycle runes, the term radical discontinuity, best describes the action of this rune. At its most forceful, the more severe the disruption in your life, the more significant and timely the requirements for your growth. The universe and your own soul are demanding that you do indeed grow. So I think a powerful message for all of us. And I think we all know, like I said, that energy is there. And I'm happy to be in sync with everybody else. So I guess we're going on to
Me, Dawn.
Okay.
And I'm like checking my list of those things as you're talking about each of them. And the truth is, I do think that we are just, because this is eclipse energy. Eclipses in the nodes are always faded energy that gets us to where we need to be going. And And the good news is the card that I have for all of us is First Breath, Beginner's Mind. This is just a beautiful card. This is from the Shaman's Dream Oracle. And I think with all of us, there are going to be things happening, and we just need to have that beginner's mind for everything. I do love a couple of these sentences here, so I do want to express what it says, and then I'll go on a little bit more from there. When the First Breath card shows up for you, it is time to leave the old stories and tales behind. You have arrived. Take a deep breath and another. There is nothing else you need to do but take in the new world that is revealing itself around you. Trust your natural curiosity. There is no need to dwell on how difficult the journey has been or how tight the passage to get you to where you are now. Just take it all in and experience the awe and wonder of your arrival at this destination. So I really feel that, we are going to be a part of a journey. And even if it's this new destination that we're getting to, I don't know if that's definitely going to be the final destination. I think actually people are going to be called to change jobs, of course, and change location, and really be guided by their intuition through a lot of this. I feel is very important. I feel like it's like we get the news that, okay, there's going to be big disruptions. And then I get, but it's going to be fine. You'll be fine. And then it's like, but there's big disruptions, but it'll be fine. So I kind of keep getting this energy over and over again, like it's going to be big, just so you know. And then trust it, though. Trust it, lean into it, accept it. The other energy that I keep getting in is divine feminine energy of allowing, because I think that's how your gifts level up. Is you can't go to an apple tree and pick them off. Basically, you have to allow them, and you have to be in a quiet space in order to have that happen. So that's why you need the quiet mind. That's why you need the meditation and nature and all those other things happening for you. So the First Breath is really saying there are new things coming in. We know that there's going to be big changes out in the world. We are actually in a lot of ways protected against a lot of that because we are not running in the fear mind and running in the anger mind. That takes a lot of that angst away and pressure away, and you actually end up with better circumstances because of it. So I will go ahead and move on to Ruby.
Hey, everybody. I was just kind of giggling to myself because Dawn was saying, oh, it's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. And we don't know what we're pulling before we get these cards. And I was laughing because this is the card that I pulled. And I'm like, I am so feeling like this right now. But as I started looking at the card a little bit more, she looks scratched up. She looks beat up. And, this says the Nebula Warrior. There's something strangely beautiful about it. And my guides actually said the word Lilith to me as I was pulling this card. I don't know if there's anything related to Lilith, or if anybody here relates to Lilith at all. But there's something about this warrior energy. So also, if you guys are resonating with this, my reading that's supposed to be coming out tomorrow morning, please check that out because it's talking about this exact thing. It's actually called You've Graduated, which is exactly the similar energy that Dawn was talking about. Okay, so I'm going to read from the Divine Circus. Some things in life are worth fighting for, but how do you fight with love? How do you fight without becoming bitter, hateful, tired, disconnected from the whole reason you needed to fight in the first place? To be a warrior for love and the soul, you have to be smart. You have to know how to fight without fighting, how to use the natural darkness on this planet as a way to birth a new consciousness that is unafraid. Nebula Warrior isn't afraid of the dark. She isn't interested in the rules of war established by fear-loving minds. She creates her own rules, not based on what people want her to believe, but based on what works to keep her free and liberate the minds and hearts of all beings. She comes to you now because whatever situation needs healing in your life or in the world, you have the power to bring it about. If you go for the goal directly, trying to force a change, you will be putting your considerable energy into pursuit and unintentionally set up resistance and repulsion. The stronger your energy, the more powerful this resistance will become. This is not the best way to use your power. You want your power to work for you, not against you. Creating responses of assistance and attraction, guiding rather than forcing the solution to come into being, is a more effective use of your power. Then you can disempower negative influences and disarm naysayers, whilst drawing to you helpers and opportunities to attain your goals, all from a relaxed, positive, loving state of mind. You get the result without losing your cool. The best way to do this is to practice bringing yourself into a place that is calm and compassionate within. Do what you can do each day. Chop wood, carry water. If you cannot do something you want to do, ask for help from the universe and then let it go. When you need to rest, take it. These apparently small choices create a powerful field of magnetism to attract and increase love and light on this planet, empowering the human heart with the understanding that the truth is always very simple. The forces in the world that profit from fear instead of love will try to confuse and overwhelm you into paralysis and inaction, and into worrying rather than acting. Don't fall prey to that nonsense. You are a warrior of love, and you will win any and every war through cool compassion and smart, simple energy. So I think when it comes to this card, and also in the reading that I did that's set to come out tomorrow, the Tower came out, but it was about, for us, almost this beautiful sense of relief. And it ties into what Sari was saying about the magical mystery ride. We don't know exactly what's happening, but these things that are meant to fall are going to fall. And for some of us, they've needed to happen for a long time. I don't think it's going to be that surprising what we're seeing happen because we're kind of more tuned in. Although I myself have been shocked recently. So, but I'm just saying that there is a sense of relief that's going to come from some of this. And a part of it is surrender. So staying cool and calm during this time where, yeah, we don't know exactly what's going to be happening. But that's what I think for the eclipse energy. All right. I'm going to turn it over to Sari.
All right. Wow, some beautiful messages. And I almost feel like we could end right now because they're so strong. I think it gives us all some practical guidance and almost a roadmap. Stay calm, do your daily chop wood, carry water. Don't get pulled off center, stay grounded. And that the enchanted forest is on the other side waiting for us. But whatever is meant to fall away is falling away. And it has to happen before we can actually get to the other side. But don't lose hope and don't stay in fear. So stay in that calm energy of love and kindness and compassion, and it's all going to be okay. All right. So we're going to pull individual cards, and I'm going to start first. And I have pulled for Jimena. Jimena, if you remember last week, we did not get to you, but I'm going to tell Ron. Ron, you're up next with Anna. So I'm pulling first, then it will be Ron, then there'll be Dawn and Ruby. So Jimena, I pulled a really beautiful card from the Energy Oracle deck. And so what is Spirit's message for you? And it's a great card. And again, this is called The Magician and the Mirror. And I've pulled this card once before, and I'm telling you, it's coming out again. The Magician in the Mirror is knowing and using your true power. This card upright represents the culmination of your personal and spiritual power at this time. And it says, in the Magician's left hand, Jimena, I'm going to show this to you. It's the flame of passion and action. In the right hand is a vortex of water and the light of reflection. This highly beneficial card is telling you that you are the magician, and within your grasp are the amazing forces of earth and spirit. The water is the energy of yin, the power of spirit and clarity of thought. The flame is the energy of yang, bringing direction and creativity. Together, they give you the magnificent magic of transformation. The mirror stands before the magician, reflecting the outer world's response and choice to use the true power that you have. Wow. So this is a really important time, Jimena. And sometimes this card has an additional meaning of it's time to own your power and step into your power. And if you have felt like you were being asked to be small, you got along to get along, you can't do that anymore. Your guidance and your spiritual guides are saying it is time to step up. There is a divine presence called Lord Melchizedek, and he looks similar to that. His energy has come through again tonight. I was grasping for who was the energy that is around me right now, but there's a message for you also. Look up Lord Melchizedek. He is the Christ consciousness energy. He is an ascended master, and he has really beautiful white light around him. Very powerful energy. But this is a time for you, Jimena, to step into your power. Don't be small. Stand in your truth. Be grounded. Be firm in who you are, and don't let anyone tell you you can't manifest your dreams, because the universe is saying absolutely you can. And have that confidence and step out in your power and own manifesting what you desire, and don't let anyone stand in the way of your ability to do that. It's a very powerful message. And there's a message. Look up Lord Melchizedek, and we'll put the name in the chat. Wendy, if you can look that up to give to her. It would be someone that it's a beautiful energy that perhaps is trying to connect with you or has a message for you. So with that, Ron is up next to read for Anna. Thank you, Jimena.
Okay, so the rune that I pulled for you, Anna, is defense. Okay, it's the yew tree. And as we are tested, we fund the power to avert blockage and defeat. At the same time, we develop in ourselves an aversion to the conduct that creates stress in our lives. If there appears to be an obstacle in your path, consider that even a delay may prove beneficial. Do not be overly eager to press forward, for this is not a time or situation in which you can make your influence felt. Patience is the counsel of this rune. Nothing hectic, no acting needy, or lusting after desired outcome. This rune speaks to the difficulties that can arise at the beginning of a new life. Often it announces a time of waiting, for a spring to fill up with water and for fruit to ripen on the bough. Perseverance and foresight are called for here. The ability to foresee consequences before you act is a mark of the profound person. Avert anticipated difficulties through right action. This rune is saying, well, this is what and yet even more than we are the doers, we are deciders. Once the decision is clear, the doing becomes effortless, and then the universe supports and empowers our action. Receiving this rune, you are put on notice that though inconvenient and discomfort, growth is promoted. This may well be a trying time. Certainly it is a meaningful one. So set your house in order, tend to business, be clear, and wait on the will of heaven. So again, this is a consistent message that, all of us are getting. This is a time of reflection and a time of being cautious and acting accordingly. And with that, I'm going to pass it over to Dawn.
Hello. Another of those carry water, chop wood kind of advice things. So I'm going to be reading for Crystal 1982, but next after me will be Ruby for Kathy Servas. So that's for Ruby. Kathy is going to be your next read. Crystal, when I pulled this, and actually I always ask for volunteers for the cards for what is the message for someone. And what came was fool's embrace, transmuting pain. And I really felt this myself because I've been in this, these everybody feels this at one time or another. The pain of life is sometimes unbearable. When we're in it, we think that pain, that loss, that betrayal will always be woven through our continuity of existence. We're kept hostage by the way we identify with the pain and what we make it mean. If we let it, it becomes etched into us like a tattoo. No matter where on the spectrum of pain you find yourself now, whether it be mild disappointment or searing loss, it's time to make peace with it. Befriend it rather than resisting it, running from it or judging it as bad or unfair or hostile. Can you see the gift that is here? Surrender to the fool's embrace, allowing the truth to envelop you in love and compassion. The other thing I want to say about this is, yes, making peace with that pain. That doesn't mean that whoever brought you that pain doesn't have to face their own karma. That's what Saturn is there for. But the other thing that I got as a message for this coming through is we accept things with feminine energy, and feminine energy does not need to bear things alone. Ask for help. Be around other people who are supportive, who are of the same vibration. That is feminine energy at its finest. That's what we do best. We are a tribe, and while you're in the process of going through this, then someone else can be stronger while you're going through the transmuting of this energy. So I do want to say it doesn't make what other person does okay. It just means that you're not going to have that as something that's going to control your future decisions. That, okay, I can't do this because that person did that and that's going to happen again. You have to release that kind of thinking and know that I would say, again, ask for help, trust other people that have your back. And that is feminine energy. So I think this is a very strong message that I think we're going to be going through a lot, but the power of us is that we don't go through it alone. And to me, that's very important for everyone to realize, because I do think we're all going to be going through some different times. And even those of us who have been, on the spiritual path for a little while, it's like, yeah, ouch, that hurt. So we're not immune to any of this by any means. We, it's just like, okay, I know I've got to work through this now. Yuck. Grumble, 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 grumble. But it's what we all need to do. But knowing there's other people, I mean, if you don't go through something alone, it is just so much better. It's just so much better. So with that, I will pass on to Ruby.
So there's another layer to this onion that we're peeling off. That's what I always say to myself. Another layer. Okay, so I'm reading for Kathy, but I also got that this is going to be there's going to be a couple people, at least in the chat, that are going to resonate with this one. When I pulled this card, it is called the Red Countess. And before I really knew what it was, I was like, oh, she's got a Mona Lisa smile. And to me, the Mona Lisa smile is always about, like, it was always like she knew something. There was something behind her smile. So I'm going to go ahead and read this. There is something that you felt, sensed, heard, or realized this truth more than once. Even if others see or feel differently, you just know what you know, even if you don't quite know how you know it. When the Red Countess appears, she's reminding you of what you know, no matter how convincingly someone, or even you, might be able to talk you out of it for a little while. The truth always returns to be dealt with eventually. Saturn. This is not meant to be a warning. It is meant to be a reassurance, an encouragement to be bold and to act on what you feel. Give your truths value. Hold your feelings and insights in high enough esteem to pay attention to them, to give yourself time to process what you think, feel, and sense. Know that they are worth acting on, even if that action just means to trust more and to stop worrying. If you cannot figure out what your inner truths are, or if you feel confused by conflicting thoughts and feelings, torn between head and heart, then you are in a state of information overload. You need to switch off, discharge some excess mental and emotional energy, and take a break. If a device was overheating, you would switch it off, let it cool down so it didn't burst into flames beyond repair. Treat your brain, your nervous system, your body, your mind with the same good sense. Unplug for a few moments at least. Give yourself some time out from the crazy noise and constant distractions of the world so you can get in touch with what is true for you. If you have a vision or feeling about someone or something that you are uncertain about, the Red Countess confirms the accuracy of your insight. Trust yourself and then choose to act from your truths. So I always think about breathing through my heart, because that is the way, that is the gateway, right? Our heart is the gateway anyway. But when it comes to head over heart, I put my hand over my heart and then I breathe through it until I feel, I call it sparkly, but until I get that feeling where I'm here, I'm present, and I'm breathing through my heart. And then you will feel this lifting, opening feeling. That is when you're open. That is when you're receptive. That is when you're present. Okay, so if there's some sort of decision that you need to make, that's how you get into the space to be able to do that. That's how I do it, at least. And the message that I really got from this was, don't let your mind talk you out of your intuition. And so many of us do that, especially like for me, it's with people. But we always know. We always really know. We always really know the answer here. But we talk ourselves out of that here. So that's the message for you, Kathy, and I hope that resonated. With that, I'm going to turn it back over to Sari.
Okay. And I'm going to go first. Ron, you're up next with MC. All right. So I'm pulling for Ari. And Ari, it looked like you had a hard time getting to us today. You said you were in the wrong chat. So we are so grateful that you made it. And so Spirit's message for you, this is so beautiful. It is from Angels and Aura's Oracle. And I got the card, Everything's Okay. And it has 444, which is a sign from the angels. Everything is okay. And so it actually is a 22, which is a master builder card, a builder of stability, of spirituality, a really strong foundation. But you're getting confirmation from your angels and guides. You may even be getting signs and symbols like feathers or some sort of sign that's coming to you that tells you, even though you might not see it, everything is okay. It says, rest assured, Ari, everything is unfolding with divine timing. The angels are very proud to see that you are not panicking and you're staying committed to your vision, even if things feel a little bumpy at the moment. Miracles don't always happen overnight. Your hard work and enthusiasm are about to pay off. Keep going. And your colors are that you might be seeing are yellow and purple. And so pay attention to when you see things with yellow and the color purple. Yellow helps you organize your thoughts, and purple reminds you that you have powerful leadership qualities and can handle anything with grace, elegance, and style. So, Ari, it might not seem that you're seeing a lot of the fruits of your labor or the shoots that you've been planting. And this is a message for all of us. We're planting these new seeds. We're moving along the spiritual path, but we may not have seen everything come to fruition. But what the angels are trying to tell you, you're kind of in the last push. Don't give up and stay persistent. Stay on the goal. And the angels are saying everything is okay and you're exactly where you need to be and you're almost at the finish line. And they want to bring this beautiful abundance to you. So just keep going. And that is a message for you. And hopefully it's really for all of us to keep going in the face where we might not see what's ahead or it's still unknown. But again, Ari, thank you. And I will pass it over to Ron, who is reading for MC.
Hello, MC. I just want you to know this is a bag of runes, right? There's 25 runes in here. And every time I do a pull, I shake it up and down and I do everything I possibly can to make the runes just be all over the place. And then I stick my hand in it. And what did I pull? I pulled the exact same rune I just pulled it a minute ago. And so it's because I think it's something that's going on with all of us. It's defense in this case. I'm going to read through this again just in case you didn't capture it when I was reading it for Anna. So as we are tested, we fund the power to avert blockage and defeat. At the same time, we develop in ourselves an aversion to the conduct that creates stress in our lives. If there appears to be an obstacle in your path, consider that even a delay may prove beneficial. Do not be overly eager to press forward, for this is not a time or situation in which you can make your influence felt. Patience is the counsel of this rune, offers nothing hectic, no acting needy, or lusting after a desired outcome. This rune speaks to the difficulties that can arise at the beginning of a new life. Often it announces the time of waiting, for a spring to fill up with water and for fruit to ripen on the bough. Perseverance and foresight are called for here. The ability to foresee consequences before you act is a mark of a profound person. Avert anticipated difficulties through the right action. And yet, even more than that, we are doers and we are deciders. Once the decision is clear, the doing becomes effortless, for then the universe supports and empowers our action. Receiving this rune, you are put on notice that though or through inconvenience and discomfort, growth is promoted. This may well be a trying time. Certainly it is a meaningful one. So set your house in order, tend to business, be clear, and wait on the will of heaven. And this is where I get to throw in the comment that even disruption and everything is actually an evolutionary catalyst, all right? It brings us to a higher level of frequency. And with that, I pass it off to you, Dawn.
Hello. So far, so good that I've been remembering to unmute myself before I come on screen. So I'm very proud of myself thus far. So hopefully I didn't push myself going forward. But so I'm going to be actually, I drew a card for Linda, D11, and Ruby is going to be reading for Sheza next after me. So I just wanted to put that out there. So Linda, and this following that defense reading that we just had, this is, and I had all these messages coming in. This is a number 51 card, stars in the sky, limitless possibility. And what really strikes me is what I kept getting messages was we are in a time where the glass ceiling is being broken for us in a lot of places. I would say things are breaking down so that changes can be made. But in times where there's maybe prosperity, nothing changes because everybody's happy with what's going on. So nothing is changing, and that glass ceiling is still there. Here, there is no ceiling. There is no limit. There is only possibility. And I think that is what I'm feeling is we are going to be getting the universe is breaking down some of these things for us. It's all in the astrology that it's been planned this way. And this, oh, really? Oh my God, this is perfect. Because I didn't see that remark before. So it was so funny that I got this. This is going to create opportunity for you, without a doubt. And I think things will change, but what'll happen is that this is going to be able, usually when things change and are breaking down, and as they are in the process of change. There's like a space of time. So I think there'll be kind of a lull, and then things will start to rebuild. And that's your great opportunity here. So yes, I do feel that I agree with you. I think that there's something is coming. And I think that I get the sensation that Archangel Michael is like, I'm putting things in place. I'm putting things in place. Just be patient. You know, things are coming. So just a few things that came out with this card is when you look into the velvety dark blank of the night sky covering the vast expanse of space, can you count all the stars twinkling above? Your life right now is alive with possibility and needs your clear focus to home in on what avenue of exploration most calls to you. It's time to choose and not be distracted by the sheer magnitude of what may be. Follow your intuition and your heart as to what you want to do, and trust Archangel Michael to put things in place. I think it may take a little bit of time, but it's going to come. And I really feel that's a strong message going forward. I feel like I kept getting this sensation of the glass ceiling isn't going to exist anymore. That's not going to exist anymore. That's going to be gotten rid of. So I think that is really what this message is trying to say to you. So with that, I will pass on to Ruby.
Hi. So yeah, Dawn just got the night sky, and I'm getting the energy, what feels like the moon. So for Shiza, this really feels to me like, you know, you can kind of see how it's muted. This energy to me feels like literally the moon. And so we're, you know, this eclipse for you. I don't know if you have strong Pisces or Cancer in your chart. But this is somebody who is kind of feeling like they don't know, like when you think about it in the moon energy, you don't really know the next step to take. You can only see what's right in front of you. You can't see, like in the sun, you can see everything. In the moon, you go through a lot internally, and there's a lot of subconscious stuff that's coming out, and it could also mean fears. So with this card, it's called Bright Baby. To heed the healing truths of the bright baby, you are asked, even if just for now, to drop the complex adult explanations, justifications, interpretations, and stories. What is the simplest version of the story you are dealing with in your life right now? And how can you act on that simplicity with truth, compassion, and authenticity? If you aren't sure how to you can get yourself to simplify if the confusion seems too great, the Oracle brings you confirmation that a blinding flash of clarifying insight is on its way. Make sure you don't discount the insight as being too obvious or too simple, because oftentimes the answer you need is right under your nose, just waiting to be discovered. Yeah, your moon is in Pisces. I knew it. And also as plain as the nose on your face. If you are concerned that something has been spoiled, damaged beyond repair, then the Oracle of Bright Baby brings you good news. It is possible to restore, repair, and return the purity, innocence, and original essence to what you feared was damaged. Innocence is never truly lost. It just gets a bit muddied sometimes and needs a cleanup. If you feel like you have lost your true self or the bright promise of a fresh new opportunity that you regret allowing to pass you by, it's just a matter of clearing out what has kept you away from your light. It's still there within you. It just needs to be rediscovered. So for sure, you're going to be, you know, you're kind of feeling like, you know, you're in this misty type energy. A bright flash of light is coming in. So prepare yourself. All right. With that, I'm going to turn it back over to Sari.
Okay. Wendy, can you put us back all on screen? There we go. All right. So it's a wrap. And listen, what beautiful messages for the viewers tonight, as well as for the collective. And we just wanted to say from our hearts to you, we're so grateful for you. We had Denise is actually on holiday in Alaska. One of our readers and was in the chat. We've had some that are on holiday this week, so we don't have everyone. And Wendy did a great job behind the scenes managing the chat and the logistics. So just a few reminders. Join us Saturday September the 6th, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the lunar eclipse ceremony ritual. Monday the 8th, Dawn has the Astrology As You Go class at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We've got everything posted on the channel. Ron is offering and gifting 3 spiritual enlightenment coaching sessions, and we have listed his email if you have interest in reaching out to Ron. First 3, good luck. And I know that he has read for a few people already from our rune session on Monday, and the feedback has been phenomenal. Again, we wish you peace and just rest this weekend. Stay grounded, stay safe, and we'll be with you next week. Please check out our daily videos, and we are so grateful for this wonderful spiritual soul tribe. Have a nice evening.